Hey everybody, welcome back to Toy Box Treasures. My name's Trav, and today we're going to talk about my top 5 Cobra figures from G I Joe's A Real American Hero line. But before we get into that, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, for subscribing, and getting those views up. We've got a lot of more views, and we've got more subscribers than last week. So keep it up, and our community will keep growing, and I'll keep putting out these videos for you. Top 5 is usually really easy for everybody because they're just going to go Major Blood, Baroness, Chrome Dome Destro. Always a fan favorite is going to be Firefly, and everybody's number 1 is going to be version 1 Storm Shadow. Now, I played with these guys when I was a kid, but that doesn't mean that they're my top 5 because I have others that I had more attachment to. I don't always follow the trends. I make my own opinions. So I'm always going to have a different opinion than most people. So our number 1 runner-up is going to be the Crimson Guard twins. I put these guys together because they came in the same pack. So to me, they are essentially the same figure, but they mirror one another. The only way to tell them apart is one has a scar and their sash is running opposite directions. These guys were cool in the cartoon. When one guy got hit, the other one would feel it, and it always gave it a cool element to the cartoon. I thought mixing the Joes and Cobra together. Now number 5 is going to be Torch. Now Torch is a Dreadnought. I'm a big Dreadnought fan. He did more damage with a flamethrower than anybody ever did with rockets, missiles, and laser rifles and all that. They would kind of skate in at the most opportune time and then skate out and retreat and be ready for the next battle. Number 4 is going to be a surpriser for a lot of people. This is my army builder that I always tried to get as a kid, and it's going to be the Vehicle Stinger Driver. He is a gray version of the original Blue Trooper Cobra officer. He came with a black version of the Vamp. Now mine, of course, is missing several pieces, missile rack, gas cans, and stickers. Now that is my original Vamp when I was a kid, so I've kind of decided to leave it as is because that's the attachment that I have, is remembering it for what it is. Now my number 3 is Hooded Cobra Commander. Now this was my first mail-away figure that I ever got when I was a kid. I like the hooded version better than the Battle Shield version of Cobra Commander. I feel like he was more menacing, more evil, more scary with his hood on. Kind of resembled an Executioner. The hooded version is a darker version. It's got a darker paint, and of course it's got his gold rather than the red stripe going down his pants. But he was always the leader, always the one that was calling the orders. He was always the one that was getting captured by Roadblock and G I Joe growing up when I was a kid. Now number 2 is going to be Buzzer. Now Buzzer is another Dreadnought. This dude has got sunglasses on and a ponytail, and he is going into battle to fight G I Joe with a chainsaw. Now if you're rolling into battle like that, you've got to be a bad dude. They always, like I said, they'd ride in, cause some damage, and then ride out. And I always really liked the accents that they had. They were kind of Australian accents from the cartoon and stuff. So they were really cool. They were really different than anything that was kind of coming out back in 84, 85 with G I Joe and Cobra and all that. Now, number 1 is going to be a shocker for everybody. There's only one person that I've ever met through Facebook groups and the G I Joe community that this is their number 1 favorite character, favorite figure, and it is the Vehicle Driver, Copperhead. Now Copperhead was one of the very first vehicles that I got when I was a kid. It's the water moccasin. Now this thing is cool. I always tried to integrate water into my battle scenes, because I always wanted to get Copperhead in there. The paint scheme just really stood out to me, and I think he's one of the best characters that they ever had. This is the exact same one that I played with when I was a kid. I've acquired several more since then over the years during my collecting. They had 2 more versions of this Copperhead back in the early 80s, and then they came back out in the later 80s. Was the blue glove, or the dark green. It depends on how you say it. But this one over here is a little more rare. It was done in a short run. Then they later on fixed it to this one right here. And so I only have one blue glove or dark green helmet, whatever you want to call it. And then they did a Python Patrol version. Now, I really like this version. This was a carded figure that they did with the Python Patrol. I do wish they would have kept his skin tone to kind of break up that color pattern. But that's my top 5 Cobra figures from the Real American Hero line. Don't forget to always, always, always leave something on the shelf for the next guy. Keep digging in them boxes. Keep the hunt on. And stay tuned, because our next video is going to be my top 5 Joe figures in the Real American Hero line. And of course, you're going to be probably just as shocked with my top 5, just as you probably are with my top 5 Cobra figures. So stay tuned. Happy hunting.